Welcome back to your live continuing coverage of InfoComm 2016 here at the Content Creation Live Streaming and VR Pavilion, the BeTerrific Pavilion here at InfoComm. And this is the Las Vegas Convention Center, Las Vegas, Nevada. You're the Terrifics. You make BeTerrific special. I am so excited about our next guest. He's been working with BeTerrific since the beginning. He's a great guy, and I can't wait to get to him. So, let me introduce my cohort, my co-host, my good friend, Eric Fletcher. How you doing? We're packing in the days. They're having fun out on the Vegas Strip.
What's up with that?
They're going to the high roller, showing off what the technology can do. We're sitting here actually
doing the job.
Doing the job.
Yeah.
We're creating the content.
Yeah.
We're teaching people and educating them. And this conversation is going to be about marketing and distributing your content both online and regularly, and I'll explain why in a minute. So I want to introduce a man who is the founder and CEO of a great company. We've known him since the start of his company and the start of ours. We worked with him a lot, and they do great things for us and for many other people, including the David Bowie concert. They help raise a ton of money for them. They help get a ton of viewership on that through marketing. Madonna, he's done a lot of work with Madonna. Paul Oakenfeld, the EDM guy, a lot of people. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And Mr. Eddie Vaca is joining us. Eddie, thank you.
Thank you for having us.
It's good to see you. You're a real smart guy. You're a real sharp guy. You come from the corporate world. You know what you're doing. And then you decide to start your own company to do video marketing online. And I think the thing that I want to talk about is we always talk about content, how important the content is. That's great, but you could make the best movie in the world, and I'm sure you have at times where nobody's seen it, and if nobody sees it, it doesn't matter how good it was.
Yep.
So marketing has to be a big part of it, and we'll talk a lot about this, and why I say regular and online is because we're only focused really on online content, and we're going to talk about online distribution and online marketing for your content. But what I think people don't realize is that, because they're so inundated by it, is that the networks and movies advertise. They don't just say, here's our movie or here's our television show. For instance, do you know who the Super Bowl is on today, this year, coming up? The next Super Bowl, do you know what network it's on?
CBS.
It might be. It could be on NBC. It could be on ABC. It could be on Fox.
No, they signed the contract 5 years
Okay,
ago.
I'm just saying.
It could be on Paris or on Twitter.
It is on Twitter, yes.
And Facebook.
And Facebook.
But the point of this is most people don't know what next year's Super Bowl, what network it will be on. So you'll see all football season commercials. The Super Bowl will be on CBS, right? And they bombard you, and they start slow and build it up to tell you what time and when to watch. Similarly, if you want to know that Dexter is on Sunday nights, Showtime will bombard you with posters and commercials and all sorts of other things. Whatever the show is, you find out about it through marketing.
Yep.
You don't even realize at this point that it's being marketed. Well, when people do online content, they create videos on YouTube or they live stream, they forget that part of it. They just think that they'll put it up and all of a sudden, magically, millions of people will watch. Now, BeTerrific has built up a sizable audience. We've done a great job, largely with the help of Eddie Vaca and his team at AmpLive. We've also done a lot of hard work on syndication and distribution on our own. Mm-hmm. But the reality is we have to market our content and target our audience and market to them. Just like somebody else would market the Super Bowl or market Dexter. And I think, unfortunately, a lot of people don't realize that. We didn't just wake up one day and say, hey, we'll do a show and people will watch.
Well, people forget that, you have to reach out and touch the viewers that you want. And people also forget that it costs money to make money.
Right.
So, Eddie, this is where you specialize. So talk to me about the process. I'm a new client. I come to you and I say, I've got a corporation and we're doing a project, a commercial, or this or that, whatever, and I want to get this, I want to get the attention of a lot of people, or we're going to do a weekly podcast. How do I get that to people?
We're only one part of the whole marketing process, if you would. The big part here is, you're right, you have to start bringing up awareness. So it's about being social. It's about putting it on Twitter, putting it on Facebook. It's about creating an email list and constantly being in their inbox. The more touches you have, the better. What we provide and how it works for us is we work specifically with live broadcasters because live is the hardest piece. Live is super hard. For instance, now if you look at what's going on here, it's where's my audience, who's seeing this content, and how am I delivering it to them? You're very smart in the way you distribute. You have your Terrifics, you have your socials, you have every single platform out there that you use, and we're that one piece that says, hey, help me find those niche audiences and pools that I don't necessarily know how to get to. So we do that for you. The way it works is it's very simple. A marketer, a broadcaster comes to us and say, hey, this is the content I'm creating. This is the audience that I'm looking for, or this is the audience that I'm looking to distribute to. And then we go out and we put a plan together and say, this is how we're going to accomplish that. It's very easy. We take care of the rest. All you have to do is supply the content.
I think, the interesting thing about AmpLive is they use a bunch of different formulas and formats to do it. It's all, as Eddie said, what are your goals and how can we get there? And he can even help you with your goals, right? Why people, though, overlook the marketing aspect of it? I mean, look, I understand that budgets are tight these days, but if you want people to watch, then you gotta get their attention. How do you get their attention? Well, yes, you can get some word of mouth going. You can work on distributing it, and we'll talk more about that. That's another way that we use, and we're going to bring up somebody soon to talk a little bit about that. And you can, catch lightning in a bottle sometimes. But the reality is that doesn't happen over and over and over again. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of, all sorts of things, but a big part of that is marketing.
Yeah, there's no secret formula that's going to make you successful. Viral videos are something that happened a long time ago. Now it's about patience and building audiences, just the way you're doing it, right? The more content you create, the more times you put it in front of them, the more engaged they become. Once you have them engaged, it's about reaching back out to them and saying, hey, we're doing this now. Much to your Dexter example is, it's on Sundays, but they don't just stop at the premiere of Dexter. Every week you're seeing a new advertisement. This is what's going on. This is what's going on. It's the constant touch points that make you successful.
I did True Blood, and in season 3, I believe it was 3, they did a cross campaign with YouTube where it would data mine your YouTube account and put your friends' phone numbers in it and your pictures in the segment of True Blood. And all to get, so that you would go, hey, look what I just did, and you'd click your friends, and your friends would then get to see it. And, they built their audience through Facebook doing that.
But that's not...
But that was just like one segment of what they were doing. And they were hitting everything else.
And that's marketing, by the way. There were a ton of marketing dollars put into something like that. People think that that's like organic. Like HBO woke up one day and was like, here, we got a great idea. And this is what we're going to do, and it's a great idea. But then they do it, and not everybody can then follow too. So you have to be constantly thinking and flexible and all that. For instance, one of the tactics that you use or you deploy, and we use this a lot, is being able to bring our video to people that we think would be interested in it in real time. So the downside of the Super Bowl is they have to advertise the week before, the month before, the year before, and then hope that everybody watches on Super Bowl Sunday. For us, we can actually say, hey, InfoComm is live right now. You're a tech guy, you're kind of into cameras, you seem like you might be a pro AV guy. We can go and feed you that ad and say, watch right now, this is what's happening. And then you can decide whether you want to watch or not, but at least we're doing it now and getting in front of you instead of having to remind you 17 times so you put it in your calendar or remember, oh my God, on Thursday of next week, I got to watch InfoComm.
Well, one of the cool things, if you think about it, the way the Super Bowl promotes itself is not just that it's a Super Bowl, but people promote it to say, hey, we're premiering a new commercial. We're making $1 million commercial. It's only going to air during the Super Bowl. The great example is Apple, the 1984 commercial.
Sure.
Budweiser does a set of commercials that only air during the Super Bowl, and it's with the puppy.
Well, and the Super Bowl's...
those guys are hacking the Super Bowl, though, right?
They're using... But the Super Bowl is getting the benefit from these guys saying, we're making a commercial that you're only going to watch during this one time slot. So there's,
Well, that used to be the way. Now they actually repurpose it. But you're right. But even still, you want to watch it on Super Bowl Sunday. The Super Bowl is an extreme example on both ends. But the reason I wanted to bring it up is because I wanted to say even the Super Bowl has to market, and people don't. They don't think about that.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Well, what you were talking to a little bit earlier was the knowns and unknowns, right? So what we're really good at is driving discovery of content. The way you're able to take your BeTerrific content from just a couple of years ago and having a couple hundred viewers to now thousands of viewers at any given time is because you have these knowns now. You've built this audience. You've built this amazing machine of terrifics, which, by the way, I love.
Thank you.
That are just constantly tuning into what you have to say, your message. And what we do at AmpLive is all about driving brand new, net new discovery. And that's just a very different marketing tactic, right? So you know your audience. What we're doing is saying, hey, here's an opportunity to discover something new. And viewers are unforgiving in that sense too. They're going to view, they're going to discover, and they're going to like it and either connect or disconnect. If they connect, you need an option to reconnect with them later down the road, like we have been doing with all of our attention retargeting stuff. So
I do have to correct him on one point, though. It's hundreds, thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions. So
millions, sorry.
I do want to just correct you on that. But but the point is well taken. And to another one of your points, I think that you know, you talked about how you have to have a lot of videos. It's not just one video, then maybe a month from now create another video. We have on our YouTube page just about 1,000 videos in 2 years. In about 2 years, we have just about 1,000 videos, and that's not even all the content we've streamed live.
Right.
Just unpack that for a second, though, right? 1,000 videos just from one broadcaster. How many broadcasters are on YouTube? Millions, right? Millions of broadcasters on YouTube. So now you're competing with other broadcasters that also have thousands of videos to watch.
How do you stand out?
How do you stand out?
Well, and that's what we're starting to finally see. So we've never really promoted our YouTube page. We've said, look, this is what we're doing. We're doing it live. We're going to spend all our effort marketing, distributing, syndicating, working hard on this. After the fact, we're going to give the archives, we're going to put the archives out, number one, for a library for us. Number two, to be able to easily send to people and say, hey, look at what we did here. Number three, for the wonderful people like you who come up and give us their time so that they can have it and share it as well. And we said, but we're not going to spend, we're a startup. We don't have the time or resources to be able to now market there, or distribute there, syndicate there, or go to blogs there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to it, we're going to upload it, but the archives we're going to leave alone. It's taken 2 years and almost 1,000 videos to start to really see traction on every video, or almost every video we upload. Where there were a lot of videos before where maybe we'd have 1,000, 10,000, 20,000, 40,000 on one, 60,000 on another, but a lot of our videos had 25 views, 200 views on YouTube. It never bothered me. I knew it was hurting us towards potential advertisers and all sorts of other partners, because you can give them analytics decks and metrics and say, this is what we're doing on live stream, but they look at the YouTube, what's your reach past that? And so it's actually nice that it's starting to change. Do you do stuff on YouTube too? Like if we wanted to take our archives and actually market it, or somebody else did, or if we wanted to do YouTube Live, I know you could market that. But what if we wanted to do? What if we wanted to do a campaign where we did it live and then we decided to do it after the fact?
Yeah, I mean, we can definitely support it. You're one of our longest running customers, so.
Well, I was saying for the audience. You
We
and I have
can
had this
support it.
conversation.
Yeah, we've definitely had this conversation before. You know, AmpLive's focus is on live. We want to do live because we feel that that's where we're going to add the most value. My whole team comes from Ustream, so it's like, hey, you know, we know live. We're experts in the space.
He's like Jerry Maguire. He says, "I'm leaving. Who's coming with me?"
I'm leaving. Who's coming with me? That's
it's
awesome.
Just ignore.
They do that.
This is what they do.
It's to push everybody out of the building.
We're here with InfoComm. We could actually stay here till tomorrow if we wanted.
No, we can't.
No, we're not going to, but we
Exactly.
could. We could though. Next year we're going to do a sleepover. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
We're going to see if we can.
You're
Maybe
gonna do a
24-hour live
sleepover
show.
next year.
24-hour live show. What do you
You're
think?
going to do a sleepover.
Come on, Eric. We'll set up the tent.
That's what you're going to use
The tent for.
BeTerrific.
Yeah, right. That's what the BeTerrific tent will be for. So what?
You
Yeah.
were talking about the YouTube views and things like that. It is lightning in a bottle on YouTube. I mean, what is it? There's 400 videos being posted every 60 seconds to YouTube or something like that.
I mean, 4 billion videos are watched every single day.
And the thing is it's what video is going to get the hits. This weekend there was something that happened in the Steadicam world, and the video went from nobody watched it on the first day to now there's over 1.25 million hits on it.
Which isn't even a lot anymore.
But the funny thing was, it was just one incident and one group of people talking about it, and because of word of mouth, it blew up. And it's just, but 99.99% of the people that post to YouTube, they're never going to see that sort of traffic.
Never.
And if they're doing something for a profitable reason, they want to see that traffic, but again, 99.9% of the people don't know how to achieve that. That's why they come to you.
That's why they come to us. We hear it a lot. So there's two major parts to live and the problems that are created by it. One is the distribution. We do that very, very well. We can take your live broadcast and scale it to the millions if you really wanted. We can compete with the Super Bowl if you really wanted to. We can. The second part of that is the monetization. How am I going to make money from my live content? How am I going to bring in advertisers, attract sponsors, do all that good stuff? How am I going to do that? So those are the two big things that I hear often is distribution, one, and how am I going to make some money?
And I think people can't forget about syndication. And so we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to bring up Rudy from Switchboard, and he's going to join the conversation, and we're going to talk about distribution as a strategy from your end and syndication, which works hand in hand with the distribution to make sure that you can reach the most amount of eyeballs. And it's kind of a marketing idea, right? I mean, even if you're not necessarily paying to do that syndication, it's important to have it as part of your marketing plan. You talked about social media. Now we're going to talk about syndication. So we'll be back right after this. Stay with us. More from the live InfoComm 2016 content creation, live streaming, and VR pavilion right after this. Stay with us.